All right, let's talk Joe Burrow. Was Joe Burrow the reason the Bengals lost? Well, that seems a little bit silly, but how was Joe Burrow in this Super Bowl? Because the numbers weren't spectacular. I mean, his overall passing numbers weren't bad, but when you factor in sacks, like his total EPA was over -9, which is, I guess, technically under -9, as in worse than -9, which is obviously a really bad statistic there. So what went wrong? And it was especially in that second half where things kind of really stalled for the Bengals offense. So let's talk about what went wrong with Burrow and the offense as a whole. Well, first, let's talk about some stuff that went right. Like right here, 4th down and 1, and what you see is that, it's going to be man coverage for the Rams. This is a key play here for Burrow. If you don't get this, you don't even get up to 20 points. And as you see, Burrow's going to take the snap, and he is going to be able to scramble up and pick up that first down. So even in this stall area, he was able to have a big play there. Obviously, he had a couple of great throws, for those touchdowns, one long touchdown and one long play that set up a field goal, the Jamar Chase on Jalen Ramsey play. But let's go over here, because I'm more interested in, listen, Burrow did do some nice things, but let's talk about what went wrong and why it went wrong. That's what I'm interested in. And this is a 3rd down and 3 right here. It's going to be man coverage, and this is kind of a lot of what happened in this stretch. Watch, Joe Burrow takes the snap, and right away, his first read to his right is just not open. It's getting covered up well. So Tyler Boyd, who he wants to throw to, is not getting open here. Now, Jamar Chase on the bottom of the screen is open, but the issue is, you can only make one read at a time. Burrow is looking to his right, and this is where coverage and pass rush run together. So right off the bat, Burrow's first read isn't open, now pass rush is coming. And this is usually where pass rush really gets you, is if your first read isn't open and the pass rush is coming, not much you can do. You probably don't have time to get to your next read. As you see, Burrow ends up getting sacked right there, and they have to settle for a field goal. Maybe if he had a little bit more time, he could have found Chase. They could have picked up the first down, scored a touchdown. I don't know. I suppose you could argue that if Burrow was looking in Chase's direction, then they get the first down already, but I don't know. That seems a little bit nitpicky. Now, this play is not nitpicky. This play was just bad. And there were a few plays, and I'm interested in waiting. Once the All-22 comes out, I think we'll get a little bit more information, but, that doesn't come out typically until the next day. So right now, broadcast footage is what we have. But this was something that I saw from Burrow, was him just not throwing the football when he should have. That's also how sacks can happen, is if the quarterback holds on to the ball for too long. Watch how, first off, this is a blitz, so Burrow should already kind of have his radar up and know he needs to be getting rid of the football quickly. And quite frankly, you look to Burrow's left, and this is open. Burrow can make this throw. There's a big gap with 2 Cincinnati receivers that he can throw to. I don't really know why he didn't make this throw, quite frankly. Instead, he just goes down and takes the sack. I just don't know why he made that decision. That was a weird call to me, and that was on a 2nd down, which now sets up a 3rd down and 13, which is going to be difficult to convert on. I just didn't really fully understand that from Burrow's perspective. And now let's talk about that 3rd down and 13, because this also wasn't ideal, what we're going to see, where it's going to be, again, 3rd down and 13. Typically, you're thinking, okay, here's going to be a sack, right? Because that's what was happening a decent amount as well, was the Bengals were running the ball on 1st and 2nd down, and then you're setting up a 3rd and long, and Burrow just doesn't have time to throw the ball down the field and instead takes a sack. However, this time, Burrow is going to have plenty of time to make this throw, clean pocket, and he just underthrows Jamar Chase. Maybe Chase had a chance at it as well, but quite frankly, that is an underthrow. That's a missed throw from Joe Burrow that could have potentially gone a long way, quite frankly. That could have, gotten a drive going perhaps, but he missed the throw. So this stuff did happen. He's not without blame. And some people might say, listen, everyone makes mistakes in any football game, and because it's the Super Bowl, we're going to just pay more attention to it. I think that's fair, but I also think it's fair to say, listen, Joe Burrow, you've established yourself as one of the best quarterbacks in football. Well, that means that when you have a bad game in the Super Bowl, or at least a subpar, some bad plays in the Super Bowl, you're going to get nitpicked more. That's just the reality of the situation. I also thought there was stuff like this where it's just kind of tough. And even those last negative plays, they're hard plays. This is not easy. It's a good defense you're going up against. I'm not crushing him for any of this, where it's going to be a zone coverage play. It's cover 2 zone. And Burrow does have a check down to his halfback, Joe Mixon, here. That's not the first place he's looking, but quite frankly, I think they should have looked at this stuff a little bit more frequently. Be a little bit more aware of, getting rid of the ball quickly and getting rid of the ball underneath. I really feel like this is the way teams could have attacked the Rams this season and just didn't do as well as they could have. And again, part of it is the Rams come up and they tackle well, but still, you can move the ball down the field this way. Look at how right when this play begins, you do see that a couple of things. One, Mixon is wide open to gain some yards. Not going to gain you a lot, 4 or 5 yards, whatever. Set up a 3rd down and medium. It's still not ideal. You wanted to get something more than that. I get it. But the issue is that Burrow isn't even looking there. He's already has his head down trying to scramble. And I think this was kind of part of it was Burrow does use his legs really well. That is something he can do. That's part of why they're here. It's a big part of why they're here. I mean, the way he was able to get out of some tackles in the Chiefs game was amazing. However, this time he is not going to be able to get out. He gets sacked right there, and that's just, I mean, that's not ideal, quite frankly. That's not what you wanted to see have happen for the Cincinnati Bengals. And so a couple things like this, I think I understand why Burrow was trying to make something happen. I'm not crushing him for trying to make something happen. I totally get it. You're just trying to see if you can get a spark, get outside the pocket, and gain more than just the 4 yards or 5 yards that Mixon would have got by throwing it to him. But at the same time, that's kind of what was there, and that's kind of maybe in hindsight what the mindset should have been. And I'm not saying I thought of this either, but maybe in hindsight, the mindset should have been, don't try and scramble, just throw the ball quickly. If I was his head coach, I don't know if I would have mentioned that, quite frankly, but, looking back, maybe Zach Taylor should have. And I mean, we also do have to talk about something like this. Like, this happened, and there were also some examples of not only good plays and bad plays, but good plays that didn't work out from Joe Burrow. I mean, this Tyler Boyd drop was huge. It's 3rd down and 9. There's 6 minutes and 23 seconds left. I mean, if Burrow can convert right here, they get the 1st down. Maybe that's it. Maybe they run out the clock and win the Super Bowl. Maybe they get in field goal range and kick a field goal, and then the game goes to overtime instead of they just lose. Instead, Joe Burrow is going to make this throw, and Boyd just does not make the catch. So, again, not ideal, not great. Obviously, you like to catch the football. In this kind of, it adds things. And that's part of it, right? If, things can change narratives. And if the Cincinnati Bengals hold on in that last drive and they win the Super Bowl, then who knows? Maybe Burrow ends up winning Super Bowl MVP. That's kind of the way that the narratives can shift. But at the same time, usually when you're the losing quarterback in the Super Bowl, there's something else you could have done. And I'm sure Burrow will be replaying a lot of these slight mistakes in his head for a while until he wins the Super Bowl. Hopefully that's not the case. But I mean, it's going to be tough because there were some plays that were available that he didn't hit. And for someone who I think has really established himself as a guy to watch for the future, just didn't work out this year. Obviously, Burrow is still awesome. He did some awesome things even in this game. I'm a big fan of Burrow. I've talked about how I think Burrow was, pass for pass, the best quarterback in football this season. I said that, and I believe it. But this wasn't his best game, and it came in a Super Bowl. And in a game where he probably had to play fantastic and out of his mind to win it, he did not do so. So it is what it is. It happens. But yeah, that's my thought on it. I thought that there were room for improvement, I guess is what I would say. What did you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. What were your thoughts on Joe Burrow and his performance in this Super Bowl? Always love hearing from you. And of course, as always, thanks for watching.